Kako, a Komamaida Curtain Call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. Theatre Maui celebrated its 32nd year of producing quality summer youth theater this past weekend at Lahaina Intermediate School Cafetorium. These ill-conceived and anti-art spaces infesting public schools throughout our state are a parsimonious monument by people who either never saw or hated live theater. However, the creative, inventive, and ambitious production team of Kristi Scott, director, and assisted by Francis Tauʻa, with set design by Caro Walker, have translated that hostility into a marvelous theater space. They produced Tina Fey, Jeff Richmond, and Nell Benjamin's Mean Girls Jr. for just one weekend, and it was a pure delight. The pacing of the show was perfect, the singing by everyone was terrific, and the big numbers, there were 41 cast members, were particularly effective. Credit Felicia Chernicki-Wulf, choreographer, for this. The story was told in flashback by two outcast Damien, Aiden Aledo, and Janice Sarkisian, Zoe Roman. They tell how Cady Heron, Anna Marie Stoops, came to North Shore High School in Chicago to be socialized since she grew up alone and was homeschooled in Kenya. She was an outsider and a brainiac as well. Talk about a formula for being a reject. She struggled for acceptance and was embraced by Janice and Damien. Then the Plastics, led by Regina George, Megan Utrillo, with sidekicks Gretchen Wieners, Avery English, and the appropriately named Karen Smith, Kaylin McClintock, embrace her as well. Cady is smitten with Aaron Samuels, Rocco Dahl. She finds out from Janice and Damien he just broke up with Regina, and it would be unforgivable for her to take up with him. In the meantime, Janice and Damien convince Cady she should spy on the Plastics and report everything they say. In order to become accepted, Cady abandons her true self to become a plastic. She uses deceit, drama, trickery, backstabbing, mendacity, and betrayal to dethrone Regina, and then becomes her. She learns her old self was better than the new one. Ultimately, the lesson of the show is know yourself, love yourself, and don't try to be someone else. What a great job they did. The show worked in every way, and it was clear everyone was having a blast, and so was the audience. Ms. Stoops found all the nuances of this complex character, the initial naivete, the seduction by the Plastics, the need to change who she is, including hiding her intellectual superiority in order to be accepted, her full transformation into a superficial, selfish teen, and then her realization. Everything worked. She also had some outstanding musical moments as well, like every one of her songs were as fine as they could be, especially her duet with Mr. Dahl, One More Is Better, in Act 2, and her solo on Stupid with Love. Megan Utrillo's Regina displayed the uber ego of the character and captured her anger and desperation as she was eclipsed by Cady. Her opening number on Meet the Plastics perfectly encapsulated the character, and her solo in World Burn was another high point in the show. Master Aledo's Damien was completely comfortable in his skin, and his expressive fans were a great stylistic character touch. And Ms. Ronan is the perfect friend, loyal, caring, and fun-loving. Her song, I'd Rather Be Me, in Act 2, was the showstopper. Excellent work.
Ms. English's Gretchen
is so desperate to be the handmaiden of Regina, she would do anything. Her self-appraisal in What's Wrong With Me was another terrific song in this show filled with them. Karen is one of the most apt names for Ms. McClintock's character. She isn't fully aware of her less than stellar IQ and isn't proud but resigned. Her blank stare and long moments where she was trying to figure something out were brilliant acting choices, and she got to display her lovely voice in Rockin' Around the Pole. Sebastian Navarro as Kevin G rapped with the best of them in Do This Thing. There were 9 numbers that involved the ensemble, and they not only sang, but they danced. Kudos to Felicia Chernicki-Wulf for the choreography, and as always, the wonderful Vania Jerome for helming the music. I just wish they had real live musicians accompanying these fine young people. Not a fan of tracks. Accolades to Linda Tim for the costumes. This was a huge show with tons of costumes, and the outfits for every cast member in every scene were thoughtful and entirely fitting. Good job. Praise goes to Ms. Scott and Mr. Tauʻa for their vision of this complex show in this space that is designed for eating lunch, not for theater. But they made it work beautifully. Bravo! Barry Kawakami and Wave of Harmony Foundation paid for everyone in the audience. That is the kind of support he has for our youth theater. He was joined by Gilbert and Allison Cam Church Charitable Trust. Mahalo nui loa to these angels who make youth theater possible here on Maui. I only regret this show did not have a longer run. All I can say is keep your eyes open next summer for their 33rd anniversary. They always do outstanding work. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo nui loa for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho.